Well, this is the all-new Maruti Suzuki Ciaz, and as you can see, it gets an all-new nose now, which looks a lot more premium and a lot more upmarket than the outgoing car. But the biggest change on this car now is an all-new 1.5-liter petrol engine. So, does the new engine, along with these new features and this new face, make this a better car than the Honda City and the Hyundai Verna? We'll try and answer that question by the end of this video. But before that, here's a message from our sponsors. Well, so what is Budmo? Well, I'm sure by now all of you are aware that Budmo are the online expert when it comes to spare parts, and the best point is that they have the spare parts for all vehicles available in India. So even if your car is out of production now, maybe you have a large generation model, even then they have the spare part available. They have the entire catalog, and the best point is that they have the same spare part from a host of different component makers, which gives you great flexibility in the pricing overall. So check them out today. Check out the app. It's available both for iOS as well as Android devices, and also check out the website for the latest schemes as well as offers. Well, so the Ciaz has always been a nice and comfortable place to be in, and it's no different on the new car. The seats are just as good as the outgoing car. The under-thigh support is excellent. The support for your lower back really is very good. And along with the Honda City, the Ciaz has the best front seats in the business by a long margin when it comes to its other rivals. Not only that, the quality of the plastics also seems to have been improved. You now get this faux wood finish over here, and it looks nice and neat inside the cabin. It is a very nice and peaceful place to be in. It's not the most stylish place, but it feels like a calm and relaxing place to sit inside once you are here in the Ciaz. Now, in terms of overall utility places, you get this nice elbow box over here where you can keep those face wipe tissues. You get one small tray over here just below the handbrake where you can keep your cell phone, and you get a bigger tray over here where you can keep a couple of beverages as well as place your cell phone and wallet. And the nice part is that you can always close in this lid and hide away all those things from prying eyes outside or people inside the car if you want to save those Diet Coke cans from other kids inside the car. You also get a nice and usable glove box, and the door bins are large enough to house those big bottles from your home for those long highway trips. Well, but the best utility place inside this car is right over here next to the driver, next to the start-stop button. It's a small shelf hidden away from all the other occupants where you can keep your ignition key, but you can also smartly keep a small snack for yourself away from the other kids in the car and eat it while you're driving quietly, and just, hide the wrap over there and no one will come to know of it. It is a very unique touch. Well, in terms of other equipment, this car really comes loaded. You get, of course, this nice and easy to operate touchscreen system which has Apple's CarPlay and Android Auto on it. You also get automatic headlamps. You also get a very good and very solid digital display over it. Has a lot of information. Now remember, this is a smart hybrid, so you get the hybrid systems information over here. You also get all the information regarding the current fuel economy, the torque and power the car is using, and you also get the time that this car has been at idle. Yes, the stoppage time at idle is also recorded, and that's a unique touch, and it is something which techno geeks and techno buffs will truly enjoy. And that's not all. You also get 2 airbags as standard along with ABS and EBD on this car, and there's a whole lot more. The back seat on the Ciaz has always been ahead of both the City and the Verna in terms of sheer leg room, and it's no different on the new car because as you can see, it is massive. This is all the leg room that you'll ever need. In fact, if you're sitting here, this car will not feel like a mid-size sedan. It will feel like a much more expensive and a lot more premium car because of the sheer space that is available. Headroom also is more than adequate, and my height for reference is 5'10", remember, and I always adjust the front seat for my height and my driving position, and even then there's plenty of space over here. So if you are about 6'2", 6'3", you should be more than sufficiently comfortable in the back seat of the Ciaz. As you can see, the knee and hip angle also isn't very low. It's a nice angle, so you don't really sit very low in this car, which means that at the end of a journey you will not feel very tired. What also adds to the premiumness and the comfort factor inside this car are the huge windows at the back. Now this car's door, the rear door, is really big, which means that you can get in and out of it without any issues at all. You also get a lot of glass area, which means that the cabin feels airy, and the best part is that the floor panel is completely flattish, so whoever sitting in the middle has plenty of place to stretch his feet. It's a genuine 3-seater at the back, and it really is a nice and relaxing car for those long highway trips. It gets full marks in my book. Well, so in terms of the boot space, the Ciaz has always been an impressive car with over 500 liters in terms of sheer capacity, and it's no different on the new car because it's identical really to the old car in terms of overall dimensions. It's a nice and deep boot. It's a wide boot. Yes, the aperture isn't the biggest, but that's quite okay. And there is a bit of a loading lip, so you can forgive it for that because the boot genuinely is large enough to transport your entire family for that 10-day trip up to the Himalayas. It really is a very sumptuous boot, and it's also a good boot if your relatives are coming down or flying down from Canada to pick them up at the airport. They will not have any issues at all, and you'll also be very happy because of all the return gifts that you can stuff into this car's boot. So full mark from my side. Well, so the biggest change now on the Ciaz is the introduction of a new 1.5 litre petrol engine, which makes about 104 bhp of power, and it uses hybrid technology. Yes, it's a mild hybrid system. Maruti calls it the smart hybrid. What it essentially means is that when you brake the car, there is a set of batteries at the back. There is a set of couple of batteries which stores up the energy from the braking, and then it utilizes it when the car needs it to get away. So that's something which helps save fuel, and Maruti claims fuel economy figures in excess of 20 kpl for the petrol version of this car, which are figures which will easily be the best in its set. How is the new Ciaz to drive? That's the big question. And I have to say that this new engine really does make it a much better performer on the highway and even a better performer in the city. Now, the older car simply ran out of breath and you really used to huff and puff when you used to take it out on the highway. This one has a lot more power towards the higher end of its RPM band. So when you rev it hard, there's plenty of juice available for those strong overtaking maneuvers. So let's say if you're driving between 1500 and 4500 RPM, there's plenty of power and torque available, which makes this car a much nicer car to drive in the city. You don't have to constantly shift gears, you don't have to constantly be using your left hand to shift gears and finding the right power band. It's a much easier car to drive than before. Now, Maruti Suzuki engineers really are the masters when it comes to tuning up the suspension, and it's no different on the new Ciaz because it has a longish wheelbase. This car really does soak in all those badly patched up roads, especially on the highways, and this car really does give you a sense of authority when you're driving it on the highway. If you're doing speeds of say about 100, 110, 120 kph out there, this car really does stick to the road very well. It gives you a sense of reassurance, and even at slow city speeds, it's only the sharpest of sharp crevices which enter the cabin because the suspension is slightly on the firmer side. So yes, some of those sharp crevices will enter, but on the whole, if you have to negotiate those rubble strips, those badly patched up roads, and those expansion joints on those flyovers, this car really does soak them all up without any issues whatsoever. Now, the Ciaz can't be termed an out-and-out driver's car. It's not the best car for teen drivers. Well, so how does the Maruti Suzuki Ciaz compare with its main rivals? Well, in terms of the backseat experience, this car has always been ahead of both of them, and this one is still ahead by a long way. Apart from that, you also get a new fuel-efficient petrol motor, and it makes the Ciaz a very formidable package. Add the next experience and this car's desirability, as well as posh appeal goes up another notch, which means that the Ciaz will have very strong resale values at the end of 5 or 6 years. And what I'm essentially trying to say without sounding like a total Maruti salesman is that the Ciaz is definitely a much stronger package than before and gets a very strong 89 out of 100. It's bye for now and hope to see you soon.